Hey Sugar Geeks, Liz Merrick here. Today we're going to be making one of the hottest new cake trends to hit social media, the fault line cake. This technique is taking over. From sprinkles to candy to fresh fruits, everybody is trying out the new fault line cake. I'm going to show you how to make one coming up next on the Sugar Geek Show. So let's go ahead and start making our fault line cake. We're doing a little 6-inch cake. You can definitely do this on bigger sizes, but we're going small. I have some easy buttercream here all ready to go, and it's been paddled, so it's mostly bubble free. It's got a few bubbles in there, it's okay. And we're gonna start off with a 6-inch cake round. And I have some strawberry puree here. It is strawberry season right now. Where I grew up, we actually used to have a strawberry festival every year. All right, I'm gonna put some buttercream on here. I want my cake to be nice and tall so that the fault line is going to be really visible. Plus, I like a lot of buttercream in my cakes. Okay, so we've done a 6-inch, and I have trimmed off all of the brown edges and stuff so that it's got nice clean sides. And then I have a couple of 4-inch cakes here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of strawberry puree on there. Strawberry and some buttercream, not strawberry buttercream. Now, before I go to my next layer, I'm gonna do a kind of like a crumb coat of buttercream, because it's really hard to get your palette knife in there once the second layer is on. This looks like one of those weird mini cakes. All right, just smoothing out this bottom layer. I think you guys can kind of see where I'm gonna go with this. Okay, more strawberry puree. All right, last layer. I think that this fault line cake is very similar to doing a kintsugi cake, which, you know, so it's basically a buttercream version of a geode cake. All right, so this, I know this looks very messy, but this is just the crumb coat. Sealing in, you know, any gaps and stuff. Somebody on my Instagram said that this looked like a lot of work. I really don't think it's a lot of work compared to any other cake, but I'm one of those people that likes work, so who knows, maybe it is a lot of work. So we have our little gap in there, get it chilling. Okay, so now we're gonna put some fresh fruit on this cake. And the reason I chose fresh fruit is because it's something I haven't really talked about before, but I know a lot of people have questions about now that it's summertime and it's strawberry season. So I have here just a bowl of water, cold water, and this is to wash my strawberries. When your strawberries first come from the farm or from, you know, wherever you get them from, they may have pesticides on them. So that's one reason to wash them. And secondly, they just have like bacteria and stuff just because, you know, nature has bacteria in it. And that bacteria can cause your strawberries to go rotten really quickly, like in less than 24 hours. So if you wash your strawberries in some cold water and you put white vinegar, and then we wash our strawberries, what this does is it kills the bacteria, it gets off any pesticides that's on there, and it's gonna make your strawberries last a lot longer. So if we do this just to eat strawberries, we buy them from the store, we wash them in the vinegar wash like this, and then we just put them back in the fridge in a strainer with a paper towel, and that just keeps them from going rotten. And this works with other berries too, not just strawberries. So now I'm gonna cut my strawberries to go around the outside of the fault line. So I cut the top off to make it flat, and then I'm gonna go maybe about a little less than 1/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna try and choose strawberries that are all kind of the same size. So we're gonna kind of arrange them like this. That is how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna try and choose strawberries that all fit together. So now you can fill this space in here with macarons, flowers, other fruits, candies, anything like that. Instead of a fault line cake, this is like a Grand Canyon cake. It's got like a really deep line in there. I think I'm gonna do another just thin layer of buttercream, just so it has something to kind of stick to, because the buttercream is very firm already. So I'm gonna start layering in my fresh fruits right on there. And just trying to get them kind of level and even. So the next thing we need to do is create a glaze. So when I was in pastry school, we always glazed our fresh fruits with a little bit of apricot preserves. I literally have this in the fridge only for glazing fruit. Like we don't use apricot preserves for anything else. We're not like over here making marmalade sandwiches or anything. You can use any kind of preserves, and then we're just gonna water it down a little bit to make it more watery. I know some people use piping gel or corn syrup. I think those are perfectly acceptable too. So I'm gonna take my apricot glaze and I'm just going to paint the surface of all of my fresh fruit. So what this does is it keeps the fruit from drying out. It makes it shiny, so it looks just like really yummy and delicious. And you only have to do this on cut fruit. So like cut kiwis. Oh, kiwis would look really pretty. Kiwis, you don't have to put this on whole berries like blackberries or blueberries, raspberries, anything like that. Just cut fruits. We're just gonna put some buttercream up on top. And if you've watched any time lapses of these, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. The one mistake I feel like people make, or they make the buttercream too thin. It needs to be thick enough that when you start scraping it down, you're not gonna like scrape into whatever is in the middle. So I'm just layering up my buttercream, just like you would be doing like a final coat of buttercream. The fault line needs to be much thicker than you think. Like the distance between the two fault lines. You think, oh, I'm gonna bring them really close together and that's gonna look better. On camera, it doesn't look better, so don't be afraid to leave a good distance between them. And we're just gonna start scraping. Another little trick I learned, these rough edges and stuff here, they might be a little bit like wonky and not quite what you want them to be. And you can take your a brush with like some water on it and just kind of push down any sort of sharp edges that you feel like are sticking up too much. I mean, it is rough, but when I was doing this, I was like, that's too rough. It's bothering me. I'm going to let this chill in the freezer for maybe 10 or 15 more minutes, and then put my final coat on to make it nice and smooth. And then I'm gonna put some fresh berries just on top, and then I'm gonna paint the edges gold. All right, I pop this into the freezer for about 15 minutes so I can get some little bit of sharper edges. Okay, now I've got my nice hot bench scraper that I've dried off to do the final go around. Just clean your bench scraper each time. You can fill in any holes, low spots, until you have the finish that you want. So now that the buttercream is all smooth and beautiful, I'm going to take some Everclear mixed with some gold powder. I'm using Truly Mad Plastics Super Gold. Then I'm going to paint the top edge. Left it rough on purpose. Okay, So I've transferred my finished cake to a nice little cake stand. And I have some fresh blackberry leaves here that I'm going to use to decorate the tops. Blackberry leaves and blackberry flowers. You could use strawberry flowers if you have them, but mine, I don't have any flowers left. I think they just kind of accent the strawberries nicely. And these are food safe, so you don't have to worry about, you know, problems with them not being food safe. Put some strawberries. Now, wasn't that fun? I'm totally digging this new Instagram trend. So cute, so fun, so easy. If you've made a fault line cake using this tutorial, go ahead and hashtag SugarGeekShow on Instagram so that I can see it. And I will see you guys next week for a new tutorial. Bye.